So Akio, this video is trying to load. Sorry it's taking so long, but other than that, this is basically about what is a sleeper cell and why are U.S. officials on high alert? The U.S. warns sleeper cell threat is rising amid tension with Iran. Former FBI agent sleeper threats may enter through U.S. borders. Public urge to stay alert. DHS issues worldwide caution warning. Before I begin this lesson, I'd like to give all the honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching His word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayah, the Dawadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. So, this whole thing about sleeper cells, right? So before we go ahead and read this article, I'm gonna go ahead and excuse me. Sorry, my internet's been a little slow lately. Just bear with me here, it's acting wonky. Okay, so I'm gonna type this in real quick. My internet is due to this heat this summer, it messes with the internet. Alright, so what it says right here, it says let's see, sleeper cell. Let me go ahead and it says a secretive group of spies or terrorist agents that remain. I keep doing this. Okay, there we go. It says a secretive group of spies or terrorist agents that remain inactive within a target population until ordered to act. Okay, so it also says spies or terrorists who operate in rival countries and remain inactive until they are essentially ordered to act. So, I just have an idea of what that is. Because the U.S. officials are on high alert about this due to the tensions in Iran. Of course, this article keeps on doing this, keeps flashing back and forth. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit here. Let me zoom in just in case it's hard for y'all to see. Alright, so there we go. That's how to move my camera. So it says, as tensions escalate between the United States and Iran, the threat of sleeper cells has never been higher, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, although no specific or credible threats have yet emerged. And it says, in a memo obtained by News Nation, CBP Commissioner Rodney Scott said thousands of Iranian nationals have been documented entering the United States illegally, and countless more were likely in the known and unknown gotaways. Well, I wish this would stop. Okay. It says, while there is no current actionable intelligence, Scott emphasized the need for vigilance. Though we have not received any specific credible threats, the threat of sleeper cells or sympathizers acting on their own, or at the behest of Iran, has never been higher. There we go, right here. It says U.S. President Donald Trump said on social media that Israel and Iran have agreed to a complete and total ceasefire, which is a lie, to be phased over in 24 hours. Okay, it ceasefire my ass. So, like I said, what are sleeper cells and how they operate? Of course, this thing is being stupid again, so I'm just gonna go ahead and close this page. I'm just gonna go ahead and close it because I don't have time to go going back and forth for this thing to be working. It's starting to get on my damn nerves. I just really hate it when my internet starts acting like this. So okay, let me close some things out real quick. Gotta close a couple windows. Maybe that'll solve the problem, but if not, it's whatever. I'll just get into the scripts. But it says, what are sleeper cells and how they operate? Like I said, there's spies or terrorists who operate in rival countries and remain inactive until their essential act. News Nation national security contributor Tracy Waller explained that while the concept of Iranian sleeper cells in the U.S. is not new, there may have been a recent influx of agents. So, as we all know, how the tension with Iran and the fact that America had destroyed 3 of Iran's nuclear sites. I'm just going to ignore this. I'm not even going to pay no attention to it no more. But aside from that, and Iran retaliated by hitting Israel with some ballistic missiles of their own. The dragons of Arabia, they're rising up. They're not taking no more shit from Israel or America. So that's these heathen nations are coming. They're coming up against Babylon and those elite small hats over there. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the scripts because this thing is just acting real wonky, and I'm just not gonna deal with it no more. I'm just really not. So we already got the idea of what a sleeper cell is and what's going on, but we're going to get into these scripts. It's going to be the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9. 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, going into verse 1. And it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which we're seeing right now. We're seeing the people of America, nationwide, rise up against the government because of these ICE raids. Okay? Yahweh Shimon Shai is making it perfectly clear, and no, he's making it abundantly clear. In verse 4 it says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. We're in the end times right now. We're seeing an empire fall apart, crumble to pieces, because of the mistreatment from its rulers, the government, the people that are in high positions, and the people are tired of the oppression. They're tired of being screwed over. They're tired of not getting fair treatment. Okay, verse 6. Even and so, the times also the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. Yeah, because Yahweh Shimon Shai throughout the past 5 years, he's been showing you more and more signs of what's going on. He's showing you that we're getting that much closer. Time is short. Okay. Now we're going to go to 1 Thessalonians. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1, it says, "But of the times and of the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you." Verse 2, "For ye yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." It's going to come at a time of moral stupidity, when the people are completely ignorant. They don't know what's going on. They think everything's going to be all right. They don't think anything. They don't think something like this could ever happen. They have they're in for a rude awakening. Verse 3, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." All right. So when people don't think that there are sleeper cells or hidden spies or terrorists within the country, when there are, because they are here. When they were back then, when they were showing that video of all those middle-aged or combat-aged men crossing the border from Mexico to come into here. Okay, these people don't realize and understand that you have all these people that are coming in here, not realizing that a lot of these guys are military trained. They're here for war. They're not here to build a better life or to find comfort. No, they're here to tear this place down. And not only that, but there was an article I was looking at that a lot of these other countries are readily supplying Iran with nuclear weapons, because they know that Iran is bloodthirsty right now. Okay, now this is going to be the book of it's going to be Matthew chapter 24, verse Matthew 24, starting at we'll start at verse 4, and it says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. Okay, because you're going to have people that are going to come about acting like they have all the answers, like they know the way, but really they don't know. So you can't allow people of this world to fool you, thinking that they have the answers when they don't, because these people don't know anything. Verse 6, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So yeah, wars and rumors of wars. I mean, we're already in the stages of World War III. It's here. Verse 7, for a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. Okay, because China said that the world can move on without America. Xi Jinping is basically saying that America is no longer needed. We don't need them. We can move on without them. Yeah, man. And famines, yeah, because a lack of, imports, supplies and all that, pestilences, diseases, earthquakes in diverse places. All of these are the beginning of sorrows, man. Babylon aka America, is about to experience firsthand what it's like to truly be a genuine third world country, where poverty is at an all-time high, crime rate is at an all-time high, death, mass death is like a daily thing. America has no idea what it's really like to be a third world country where you're barely making it. You're struggling for scraps. Sure, people are struggling and suffering right now, but not compared to what's really coming. All right, this is going to be the book of Ezekiel. It's going to be chapter 38. Ezekiel chapter 38. And 11. And it says, Ezekiel 38 and 11, it says, "And thou shalt say, I will go up to a land of unwalled villages." And who's that? What's that land with unwalled villages? That's America. Open borders, everybody just coming in, sneaking in. "I will go to them that are at rest." Yeah, the people here live in a state of comfort. People are comfortable here. "That dwell safely, all of them, dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates." Verse 12, "To take a spoil, and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land." So, when these sleeper cells, when they get active, they're gonna take these people and their stuff and all and such, everything they got for a spoil, man, for a prey. And there's gonna be a lot of death in there too. These men are not gonna spare you Americans. They're going to take what you got and then they're going to off you right after. And if you have any attractive women in your house, they're going to take them for the booty. So, Babylon right now, aka America, is not in a good spot. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 22. And it says, "A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction." Okay? Because, they've been sounding the alarm that, something bad's about to happen here. Okay, they've been alarming about sleeper cells. They've been alarming about a bunch of things. World War III, this whole thing between America, Iran, and Israel. Okay. Verse 23, "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations?" Well, verse 24, it says, "I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord." Okay? Because of that great pride that America has carried for so long, they don't realize that they're too full of themselves to see straight. Realize, that the enemy is within your walls, within your borders. These people have no idea. all these other nations are turning against you. You guys think everything's going to be all right. The people here in America are weak. And because of this war going on and the fact that that they closed the Strait of Hormuz, which cuts off 20% of the world's oil supply, be prepared for things to get really expensive here soon. Right now it may seem like $4 per gallon of gas. It seems doable, but wait until it goes up to $8, maybe 10. People are going to flip their shit. A lot of people are just going to off themselves due to these higher prices because they don't know how to live in hard times. They're weak. They'll delete themselves before they have to go through this. That's the thing, man. Let's see here. This is going to be let's see. It's going to be Jeremiah chapter 49. It's going to be Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 7. And it says, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord, a host. Is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. There is no wisdom amongst these Edomites. Never have been. They are just a nation of greedy, warmongering people. Even Esau is getting tired of Esau. And Yahweh Shemashah is about to bring this calamity upon him. Verse 9 says, great gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If these by night they will destroy till they have enough. So, they come to take everything, but they leave nothing left behind for anyone else. And they don't know when enough is enough. That's Esau Edom, man. Verse 10, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before this Edomite supremacist nation is going to feel that heat. Dropping down to verse 12, it says, for thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So yeah, aka Babylon, aka America, shall surely drink of that cup. They're going to drink that cup. Like I said before, they're about to find out the hard way of what it's like to be, taken for a prey, to be spoiled, to be invaded. They're going to truly know what it's like to be a third world country, having nothing, being poor, people losing their jobs, going homeless. Right now, we haven't seen nothing yet. We haven't seen that level of desperation yet. People are going to get so desperate that they're going to do things that they never thought that they were capable of because they haven't been put in that situation of difficulty. And it says here, verse 13, "For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Bozrah shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be in perpetual waste." So America is going to be is a curse, and it's a shame, and it's a desolate, and it's going to be a waste, a place of desolation. Okay, in verse 14, "I have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together and come against her, and rise up to the battle." Verse 15, "For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men." So yeah, man, Esau, Edom, is small amongst the heathen, and they're greatly despised. Even the heathen know that Esau, Edom is the devil. They're getting tired of doing business with him because he's unfair, he's a liar, he's a deceiver. They're tired of it. So they're going to take matters into their own hands. All right, this is going to be somebody second Esdras. Second Esdras. Second Esdras chapter 15, verse 55, and it says, "The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom, therefore shalt thou receive recompense." Verse 6, "Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall the power do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief." Alright? Because the multitude of thy whoredoms from this country, from America, which is not really a country, it's a business corporation. Spreading about its philosophy, its laws, its ways of life to these other countries, getting other people to conform to it. But these other nations, they're not going to bend the knee. So therefore, because the reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom, therefore shalt thou receive recompense. So you're going to get that payback for all that you have done, not just to the world, but to the Lord's chosen people. And deliver thee into mischief, because that snare has been laid. Verse 57, "Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field." 58, "They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood for very hunger, and bread, and thirst of water." So, like I said, the famine's coming, where people are going to be dying of hunger. People are going to be eating each other. Cannibalism's coming back, and those that be in the mountains, those preppers that try to live off grid, even they, no matter how prepared they are, they're not going to be safe, because there's going to be people out there looking for them too, and going to take their shit too. So, America there's no way out of this for America. There's no way out. 59, "Thou as unhappy shalt come to the sea, and receive plagues again." 60, "And in the passage they shall rush on the idol city, and shall destroy some portion of thy land, and consume part of thy glory, and shall return to Babylon that was destroyed. Thou shalt be cast down by them as stubble, and they shall be unto thee as fire. 62, and it shall consume thee and thy cities, thy land, thy mountains, all thy woods, and thy fruitful trees shall they burn up with fire. Verse 60, thy children shall they carry away captive, and look what thou hast. They shall spoil it and mar the beauty of thy face. So America is going to be ravished by these foreign troops, these sleeper cells. Their children are going to be carried away captive. And who knows what's going to happen to them. And this land, it's going to be torched, burnt down, destroyed, ransacked. Okay? Right now, we're still in that state of comfort, but it's not going to last for too much longer. So, it's just, like I said, it's just a matter of time. We just got to keep our eyes open. Okay, and we'll close out with, it's going to be, let's see here. All right, excuse me. It's going to be Job 18. 18 verse Job 18 and 7, and it says, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. Verse 8, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. Verse 9, the grin shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. Okay? So basically, Esau Edom has shot himself in his own foot. Okay? Because his own people are turning against him. He laid a snare for the enemy, but he himself walked right into that snare, into that trap. Esau thinks he's so clever, but he doesn't realize that he's so smart, he's stupid. He thinks because of his pride, he thinks he's got it all figured out, but he doesn't realize that Yahweh Shem Shai is the one that's making a fool out of him, day by day. Verse 10, the snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Verse 11, terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. Yeah. Because these people don't know. Once the hell starts, these people, these Edomites, man, I don't care how gung-ho they are, or whatever the case, they're not ready for what's coming. They're going to be like women, scared, not knowing what to do, can't do anything but be afraid. So we'll see how the rest of the summer goes. Lord willing that, things pick up fast, because we are ready to get out of here. And with that, I hope that this was edifying to the body and to the few sincere believers and listeners. And with that, I'd like to give all the honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Achad Kodash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles, the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching His word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayath and Avodah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. See you in the next lesson, Lord Lord. Kwam Yasharallah, Wa Abad Nabal, Shalom, Barak Adam.